Hello. Thanks for coming, you guys. Today's a flow 2, and so we're going to do a little bit more intermediate practice today. And we're going to focus on one of my favorite things to focus on, and this is the concept of finding Tadasana, mountain pose, in lots of different postures. So we're going to start sitting with your legs crossed, Sukhasana, with the shins crossed. And you're going to sit up as tall as you can. And we'll just start this way. And we'll start to recreate those actions that we do in Tadasana and try to remind you to keep the length happening in your spine. Right? So as you sit here, just start to settle into your posture. And then just feel your breath. Right? I'm going to start fairly relaxed. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere. Like I usually find that I'm holding tension in my lower jaw for no reason. So try to relax anywhere you're feeling that tension. And then deepen the breath. And as you deepen the breath and you inhale a little deeper, feel yourself sit up as tall as you can, from the sit bones all the way up the spine through the top of the head. And as you exhale, feel the shoulders relax. So actively grow another millimeter on each inhale. And let the shoulder blades drop down on your exhale. So we'll go a few more rounds of breath here. And then you can blink your eyes open. So we're going to start with the legs in front of you, Dandasana. So extending the legs forward. And I like Dandasana with the legs hip width apart. I don't feel like it's necessary to squeeze the legs together. If we do every other posture hip width apart, then why not put ankles, knees in hip width, right? But flex the feet. So from here, we're going to start to create some of these actions in the body. So relax the arms, relax the tops of the shoulders, and then feel the shoulder blades draw down toward the floor. You're going to firm up the knee, or lift the kneecap rather, and firm up the quads, the thigh muscles. You're going to feel your low belly below the navel, or we call it the pit of the abdomen. Pull up and in a little bit, but as you do that, simultaneously lift your chest. So this is super active. It's not easy. All right? And then if you have any forward folds here, try not to compromise the line you've created in the torso. You're just hinging. A couple of breaths here. And then coming back up. Good. Okay, I'm going to have you come to your hands and knees. I'm going to get started moving a little bit more. So put the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and you're going to start cat and cow. You're going to get the spine moving, right? And this is what is good for the spine. A flow of blood, good circulation, movement, and strength. Right? And we want to create some space between the vertebrae as we're working today to keep those discs happy. So finish on your next exhale with the rounded back. And then come back to neutral. And we're going to start here with the right arm forward, left leg back. Okay? So you're going to reach that right arm and left foot is going to flex. So imagine if you were standing on a floor, you would feel that nice long line of arm all the way back to the heel. And then hand and knee come down, pause. Okay, so left arm, right leg. Yeah, feeling the length, right? So don't worry about how high the leg and the arm go. Think about length. One more inhale and extend a little longer. Exhale, hand and knee come down. Now let's go to downward dog. I'm just going to stretch in downward dog here. So thinking about that, what I've been jokingly calling the bowling ball at the top of your spine, that would be your head. It's 8 to 10 pounds, they tell me. So that's a lot of weight that we carry on top of the spine normally. And if you think about gravity, kind of pressing it down on the spine, it's good to get it hanging off the spine like this sometimes, right? Get some space in the neck. Come forward to plank pose. I'm going to hold plank for a moment. I want you to feel your chest reach toward the front of your mat and your tailbone reach toward the toes, or the heels rather. And then exhale and lower all the way to the floor. You can take cobra if you want on this first one, or upward facing dog. Yeah, and then back to downward facing dog. Good. Okay, so bringing the knees down again, tabletop, and we're going to work right arm and left leg again. So right arm forward, left leg. And I want you to think right shoulder blade drawing back toward the right hip. Tailbone extending back toward the left heel. And then hand and knee come down. And left arm, right leg, right? So feel the chest extend forward. And the top of that left shoulder draws back. And then bring the hand and the knee back down. Going back to downward facing dog. So you've got the bowling ball at one end and you've got the sit bones at the other, right? So you're going to feel the sit bones lift and the head be heavy. You don't have to push your head down. You just have to let it go. And you're going to step or hop forward to the front of your mat. And I want to focus on Ardha Uttanasana today. So have either the fingertips beside the toes or the hands on the shins, wherever you feel like you can get the most length in your torso. Okay? Yeah. So you're thinking shoulder blades back toward the hips, chest forward. And then keep that as you extend the arms out and up, standing up, and then release the arms down at your sides. Okay, we're going to take Surya Namaskar B a couple of times. So I'm going to try to maintain this length. And let's just establish the actions again here now that we're in Tadasana. So this is the posture that's the blueprint for so many other postures. So if you just close your eyes for a moment, feel the kneecaps lift and the thighs engage. Moving up the front of the body, you're feeling the low belly tuck up and in a little bit, and the rib cage lifts. The top of the head extends up, straight up. Now, on the back of the body, you're feeling the shoulder blades drop down toward your hips. Your tailbone is dropping down toward the floor, and your feet are rooting. So we're going to recreate this a few times today. So you're going to exhale here and then start with chair. Inhale, sit back, chair. Exhale, Uttanasana. And then inhale, lift, and keep the length as you jump if you want to low plank or step to plank. If you're stepping to plank, take an inhale and then exhale, Chaturanga. Now you can go right to upward dog if you want to transition, or go to cobra and exhale back to downward facing dog. Right foot's going to step forward, warrior one. Okay. So think the actions in the torso in warrior one. Shoulder blades down, pit of the abdomen pulling up, chest lifting up. And then exhale, hands down around that right foot, step back, take a vinyasa. Yeah, and you can always bring knees down if you need to. And exhale back to downward dog. Lift the sit bones. Yeah, left foot steps forward, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. So as you come up, and this is a tough thing to do, that back leg is kind of lifting your tailbone a little bit. So really draw the tailbone down toward the floor. Rib cage lifts up away from the waist. Take a big inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back. I'm taking another vinyasa. Just getting a little bit warmed up. Or very warmed up. It's hot here today. And you're in downward dog for a good 4 or 5 breaths. Okay, so just think about the spine today, right? All aspects. There's the back, that we always think about the spine on the back, but there's also the inner part of the spine, the side that faces the internal organs. And then there's the left and the right side that also like the stretch. So we're going to think about all those today. I'm going to step or hop forward to the front. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, so length. Exhale, fold. And then stand, chair pose. Yep, and then exhale, release the arms. Yeah, standing up. And then we'll take another one. We'll take one more on the breath, and then we'll go from there. So you're going to exhale, find your actions. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, back to plank or jump to low plank. Yep. If you're in low plank, you go right to upward dog. Or you can lower and go to cobra. It's fine. Back to downward dog. Right foot forward, warrior one, stepping up. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you take the hands down, step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, back to down dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Yeah, big breath in. Exhale out as you bring the hands down, step back and lower. Right, so this is a lot of movement and a lot of vigor, gets the blood flowing. And then you're in downward dog for a good 4 or 5 breaths. Right, but if you think about it, it takes your spine in so many different configurations. It's really great for getting blood flow, strength and flexibility, all of that. All right, so that's close to 4-ish breaths. So you're going to step or hop forward to the front. Inhale, lift, halfway up. Exhale, fold back down. And you're going to stand up, chair pose. And then release the arms, straighten the legs, Tadasana. Okay. Now, I'm going to have you take Surya Namaskar A, just a regular sun salute. We won't do any more Bs, okay? And then we'll come back to downward dog from there. So, legs are hip width. If you imagine on the front of your body, the actions are taking everything on the front of the body up. So if there were directional arrows on the front of the body, they're going up. If there are directional arrows on the back of the body, they'd be going down, right? So kneecaps up, thighs up, low belly up, chest up, top of the head, and then in the back, shoulder blades, tailbone, feet root down, right? So just a regular sun salute. Inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Now you're going to lift halfway up and then back to plank, low plank, if you're hopping. Moving with your breath, keeping those elbows hugging in. Good. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Okay, take a couple moments here. Now, right foot's going to step forward, and you're going to come standing up facing the left side of the room. Okay, so Prasarita Padottanasana, and I should have said, and you might need to pause the video if you need to, but if you have something strap-like that you could use, a towel or a scarf or a yoga strap, you may want it, because we're going to take the right arm up and bend the right elbow. And this is the upper half of Gomukhasana, right? It's a lot on the shoulder. So you're going to take the left arm out to the side, turn the arm, bend the elbow, either grab the strap or grab your fingers, okay? So think about that right elbow is trying to point straight up. And you're trying to recreate all the actions in your torso. Tailbone down, belly up and in, chest up, shoulder blades down. Now, you're going to try to come forward, folding from the hip. And if you start to feel a rounding in your back, stop there. Okay, you want that to be your stopping point. Breathing here. Yeah, that's good. So keep the chest extending away from the belly so that you're not rounding. Yep, and then come all the way back up. Good, release the arms. And you can kind of, I know it's a lot on the shoulders, so you can kind of shake out the arms a little bit. And then we'll take the left arm. So left arm up. So if you're using the strap, strap's in the left hand. You're going to bend the elbow. Right arm extends out. You're going to turn so the palm faces behind you and then bring the hand behind you. And you're going to try to grab fingers back there or the strap. Left elbow now is trying to point straight up. It has a tendency to want to point out to the side, but you're going to try to keep it straight. Re-engage the actions of Tadasana in the torso, what I call the torso spiral. Because of those arrows up and down, think of a spiral. And you're going to fold forward again to, halfway or a little bit beyond halfway, but try not to dump your chest forward, right? Keep the chest extending away from the belly. Good. Strong legs will help support you here. One more full inhale and exhale. And then inhale to come up. Good. And then release the arms, and you can put that strap off to the side. And then hop or step the feet together. Good. Coming back to the front of your mat. Yeah. Another sun salutation. Exhale here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Establish the length, and then you can hop or step back. Yep. Exhale as you lower. Cobra or upward dog. And exhale back to downward dog. Okay. Take a couple breaths. Your right foot's going to step forward, warrior two. So we're going to work a little bit with warrior two, so arms out to the sides. Heel to arch with the feet. So if I were to look at your torso from your pelvis to the top of your head, I would see Tadasana, right? Arms are extended and head's turning, but other than that, shoulders are over hips. Now work on tailbone dropping in, the low belly pulling in a little bit. And the chest lifting and the shoulder blades dropping. And as you do that, your front knee is going to try to pull to the left, and you're going to keep rolling the thigh out to the right. And both the tailbone and the thigh rotation are going to be pretty intense if you do them all at the same time. Now you're going to inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm goes up. Exhale, straighten the right leg for Trikonasana just for a moment. And again, inhale, reverse warrior. So bend into the right knee, take the arm up. Exhale, straighten the right leg, triangle. And one more, reverse warrior. Inhale. Yep. And exhale, triangle. So as you come into triangle, now the torso's turned sideways. Yeah? So what we want is, from the top of the head to the tailbone, a nice long line, both sides of the waist long. Your tailbone can't pull down toward the floor. It's got to pull, extend it back toward the left foot. Right, and then come back up to warrior two. Take a big inhale. Exhale, hands down around that right foot. Go back to plank. Take a vinyasa. You can skip any of these vinyasas if you want. It's fine, but level 2, we generally do a few vinyasas. Left foot forward, warrior two. Okay, so these same things, every time you get into warrior two, there's about 20 things to check off your list. So today I want you to just think about the torso, right? So tailbone down, low belly up and in. Rib cage lifts, shoulder blade just drop. Okay, front knee is, or thigh rather, is rolling to the left side of your mat. You're going to inhale, reverse warrior, and exhale, straighten the leg for triangle, just for a breath, just for an exhale. And then inhale again, bend into the left knee, reverse warrior, and exhale, straighten that left leg. And one more, inhale, reverse, and exhale, triangle. So this time you're going to hold triangle. So again, these actions of the torso apply here. So chest is extending away from the belly. Shoulder blades are dropping back toward your hips. Right? And then you're going to inhale back to warrior two. Take a big breath. Exhale, hands down around the left foot. Go back and take a vinyasa. Yeah. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back to downward facing dog. So a lot of these principles still apply in upward facing dog. So if you guys don't mind, transition back to upward facing dog. Bring the shoulders over the wrists and come on to the tops of the feet here. So shoulder blades are dropping back toward your hips. Chest is opening and extending forward. Can you get the tailbone to extend back toward your heels a little bit? Right, so these still apply. And then lift up and back, downward facing dog again. Yeah. All right, and then step or hop forward to the front. Ardha Uttanasana as you extend the chest forward. Exhale, fold. And then standing up, inhale. Nice flat back. Exhale, nice tall Tadasana. And again, inhale, extend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift and lengthen the torso. Exhale back to plank. So the torso stays long as you go back to plank and lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Remember the actions. Exhale back to downward dog. It's a lot to think about when you're flowing because you don't have a lot of time, but it starts to become more natural in your body the more you do it. Okay, right foot forward, warrior two. Okay, so from here, we're going to take half moon, okay? So you're going to take left hand to the hip and then lift off that back leg, bringing the right fingertips down to the floor. So make sure that right foot is turning forward. Yes, good. Okay, yeah, if you want to block, grab a block. And then when you feel steady, extend the left arm up. So here's the thing, the top part of your body is in Tadasana. I know it doesn't feel like it because you're trying to balance right now, but it is. And then back to warrior two. Good. And then inhale, reverse. Now you're going to go right arm down inside the right leg. Bend into that right knee. So we need a big distance between front foot and back foot. So back foot should slide back a little bit, yeah. Okay, now we're going to take bound warrior. So you're going to take the left arm behind you, right arm under you, and try the bind. Okay, if you're not doing the bind, just keep the left arm behind you and the right hand down. Now here's the thing, can you do the torso actions here? Can the chest extend away from the belly? Yeah. Can the shoulder blades travel back toward the hips? It's a lot to ask. Keep breathing. Yeah, and then right hand comes down, left arm comes up. Good. You're going to go to reverse warrior. As you inhale, imagine the right side of the spine getting a stretch. Exhale, hands down around that front foot, back to plank, taking a vinyasa. Okay, left foot forward, warrior two. Right, so you've recreated these actions in the torso that we had in Tadasana. You're going to try not to change them as you transition to half moon. Bring the left fingertips to a block or the floor. Right arm can either stay on your hip, hand on your hip, or right arm can extend. Right? So we're looking for top of the head, back to the heel, just like Tadasana. So back leg can lift a little bit then it would be in line with your torso, yeah. Now you're going to step back, warrior two, big, big step back. Yeah. And then left hand down inside, right arm behind you, bound warrior. Now this is tough. I know it's a lot to ask, but we want the torso long here. So chest away from the belly. Tailbone extending toward the right heel. Length. And then release, left hand down, right arm up. You're going to come back to warrior two just for an inhale. And then exhale, hands down around that front foot. Take a vinyasa. So we're getting warmed up. The spine is feeling pretty good right now, right? You're getting some blood flow, getting some warmth in there. Muscles are relaxing. It's good. Okay, now you're going to step or hop. If you can hop through your hands, you're going to hop to seated, or you can step up to the front of your mat and sit. Okay, so we're taking Navasana, which I'm not doing right now because I've got an injury here, and that's really aggravating. So you're going to lift the feet in Navasana. Okay, so if you need to hold on to your legs, you can, but try to let go. Okay, and keep the chest lifting, right, and shoulder blades relaxing. Yeah. If you can straighten the legs, that's the full expression of the posture. Now, you're going to straighten the legs forward, start to lower your body almost to the floor, hover a couple inches away from the floor, Ardha Navasana. Then you're going to lift back up, Navasana. So instead of feeling collapse of the chest, feel it extend toward your toes. Go again, inhale as you lower almost to the floor, and exhale, lifting up. Good, Jamie. Yep. And you got one more. Inhale, almost to the floor. And exhale, lift. Good. And then cross at the shins, bring the hands down in front of you. You can step or hop back to plank. If you're hopping, you go to bent elbows, low plank. And then take a vinyasa. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, back to downward dog. Okay, so hop both feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Standing up, inhale. And exhale, release. Going again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, all the way down. Inhale, lengthen. Keep the length as you go to low plank or step back to plank. Yep, exhale on your way down. Inhale up, shoulder blades down. Exhale back to downward facing dog, right. Okay, both feet are gonna, or sorry, not both feet. Right foot's gonna step forward, warrior two. I was thinking of something else and said something totally different. Okay, so warrior two. Yeah, so do your action so that if we just took a picture of you basically from here to here, it would look like Tadasana. Okay, so tailbone down, low belly in, rib cage up, shoulder blades down. Okay, you're gonna inhale, reverse. Exhale, bound warrior. Right arm inside, left arm behind. Okay, now this is a tall order, but I want you to try to straighten the front leg to some extent in what we call bound trikonasana, bound triangle. And straightening the legs all well and good, but the most important thing is the torso today, right? Breathe. Breath is the most important. Second thing is, can you create that spiral in the chest that creates length in the body? Then you're going to bend into that right knee. Release the right hand down, left arm up. We're going to go to side plank. So you're going to step your right foot back, stay facing the same direction to the left. Yes. And all I see is Tadasana on its side, right? Try stacking left foot on top if you can, because if you were just standing on the floor, your feet would be flexed. Yeah. And then bring the left hand down to the floor. You can take Chaturanga, or you can press back to downward dog. Okay. Left foot forward, warrior 2. All right. So, recreating the length. Okay. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, bound warrior. Left arm inside, right arm behind you. Yep. So there's bound warrior. You can start establishing the length in the chest as it extends away from the belly, but then start to straighten the front leg to whatever point you can without injuring yourself. It's not worth it, right? Just play with it, see what happens. Yeah. And then releasing, bend into that left knee, left hand down, right arm up. Yeah. And go back to side plank from here. So left foot's going to step back. Now, could you stack right foot on top? And just for good measure, could you take the right foot away from the left, maybe a couple inches? And there's Tadasana. Yeah, good. And then right hand comes down. You have a choice, Chaturanga and a Vinyasa or Downward Dog. Okay, so now after all this lengthening, let's take child's pose. Bring the knees down and let your back round. Let everything rest. Right? And just be reminded that we're doing this for the health of the spine, to promote great circulation, strength, and flexibility in those muscles that are attached to the spine. But why? Because that spine supports you in everything you do in your life. Right? And if you want to continue to do the things that you love, whether it's surfing or cycling or whatever it is that you like to do, keeping that spine happy is key, right? Because it reverberates into every other joint, what's going on in the spine. Now, take the arms forward so you're in extended child's pose. Yeah. Now you're going to start to actively reach those hands forward and feel your butt get heavy toward your heels. Yeah. And you're going to create these actions again of shoulder blades back toward the hips, tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Right, tailbone heavy. And then walk the arms over to the right. And imagine as you do that, the left side of your spine inside, right? Left side of the spine. Yeah, you're getting a stretch in the side waist and the shoulder and the hip and the low back, but think about the spine also. And then bring the arms back through center, take them over to the left. Now the right side of the spine is getting that stretch. Couple of breaths. All right, and then you're going to come up to center, back up to your tabletop, and back to downward facing dog. Okay? All right, step or hop, both feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Standing up, arms extend. Nice and tall as you exhale. Okay, so we're going to take dancer's pose, Natarajasana. And if you've been taking my class ever and done this pose with me, you know that I have a pet peeve about people that do this pose like this, right? I think people have this idea that they're trying to get their leg as high as possible, like a ballerina. But ballerinas can do that for a reason. You know, so if you're a ballerina, great. But what I want you to try to do is stay in Tadasana, okay? So that the pose stays upright and the leg just presses back, right? So you're not dipping forward, right? So you're going to try to stay upright. Now, yes, the tailbone's going to lift, and there's not a lot we can do about that except to keep extending the tailbone toward the back of this knee, like this, right? It might be like this, and you're going to try to take it like that, right? So the rest of it we'll work on as well, but let's try that. So you're going to stand on the right. You're going to start by catching the left foot on the inner arch side, and the knees are going to start lined up. Now, Feel the lower abdomen pull in, the chest lift, and the shoulder blades drop down, the tailbone's dropping down, right arm up. Now you're just pressing that left foot straight back. Try not to change anything in the torso. Breathe. Good. And then lower the knee next to your right knee and release and bring the foot down. Right? So it's a lot like the back bends that we do on the floor. We'll do another back bend later, but so this is what we call a back extension, right? So the spine is getting extended. You're going to stand on the left, but think about the inside of the spine, the face of the spine that faces your internal organs. That's getting a stretch, right? So you're going to catch the right foot on the inner arch. And just take a moment, find your balance. Knees are together, well, not pressing together, but they're lined up. Tailbone down. And you're going to start to press that foot back. So yes, the muscles in the front of the torso are getting stretched, but think about the spine. And then bring the knee down and release the foot and the arm. Okay. Now, let's take another sun salutation and we'll keep going. So exhale here, Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. A little bend in the knee is fine, but then when you lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, back to plank or low plank. Yep. And then inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, take a couple of breaths. Okay, so we're going to try one more bind, and this one's a little crazier. You're going to step your right foot forward, warrior two. Okay. And instead of worrying so much about getting the bind, think about the length in your torso, right? If you're working that, then you're staying safe and you're promoting good health for your back, right? If you're cranking to try to get the pose, you might hurt yourself, right? So try to stay long. So you're going to bring right arm down inside the leg, left arm behind you, and try the bind. You're going to step the back foot forward to the front of your mat. Now, this is called bound Ardha Chandrasana. So you're going to stay on the right leg and try lifting the left. Yes, and keep the extension happening in the torso. Yeah, so the leg may or may not float up like it normally does in half moon. It's okay. The point is, can you stay extended in the torso? Good. Now you're going to step back, bound warrior. Release the right hand down, left arm up. Okay. And then come back to reverse warrior, getting a nice stretch on the right side of the spine. Inhale. Exhale, hands down around the front foot. Go back to plank. Take a vinyasa. All right. Exhale back. Left foot forward, warrior two. All right. So think, your first goal is to breathe. Your second is to maintain Tadasana. Your third is to try the crazy bind, okay? So the left arm comes down inside the leg. Yep. I'll try to do it with you. See if I can get it. Okay, so you're binding, bound warrior. Back foot's going to step up a little bit. And you're going to try to float that right leg up. Well, for a moment there. All right, and then step back, bound warrior. Release left hand down, right arm up. Can you make the actions in your torso to make them nice and long, and then come back up to reverse warrior? Inhale as you go up and back. Exhale, hands down around the left foot. take a vinyasa. Might be one of your last. I don't know. We'll see. Back to downward dog. Good. Okay, you're going to step or hop forward to the front of your mat and rest in Uttanasana. So let the knees bend and you can round your back and slouch a little bit. Okay, and then with the knees bent and the back rounded, you can roll up to standing like a rag doll, but make sure those knees are bent. And then once you come up, roll your shoulders back. So I'm going to have you guys take your mats to this wall. I'm going to move my mat. And you're going to find a spot on the wall. Yeah. Okay. We're going to work forearm balance. So you can take dolphin or forearm balance. Okay, so dolphin, I want to make a point here, the same point I've been making for the last 45 minutes. It's in the torso, right? So we don't want this, and we don't want this, right? We want the top of the head coming right off the end of the spine, the chest forward, shoulder blades up toward the hips. You're trying to find Tadasana. Yeah, your knees can bend, that's fine. Okay, you can walk the feet forward, whatever works, right? But what we don't want is this, right, if possible. So let's just do dolphin first and see if we can feel that length, and then we'll work on the inversion. Okay, so important to get shoulders over elbows, okay? Wrists in front of elbows. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up. And you do not need to look forward, but you should feel the end, the top of the head, a natural ending of this tailbone, basically. So yeah, there you go, Susan. Elbows in a little bit. So create the action of shoulder blades up toward your hips, chest forward. Good, and then bring the knees down. That looks great. Okay, so rest. Now that's your pose. If you don't want to go upside down today, that's your pose. 2 more of those. Right, if you do want to go upside down, then you're trying to kick up from dolphin. And that's what we call Pincha Mayurasana or forearm balance. So at your own pace, I'll give you about a couple minutes, and we'll work dolphin. So if you're working dolphin, you're going to inhale and lift up. Try to hold for 5 breaths. If you're kicking up, which I think Jamie's going to kick up, there you go. Then work on the actions in the torso. Good. Great, that's really good. If you could see her from the side, you'd see a lot of length in the torso. That's why she's able to hold it without her feet on the wall. Right, really good. And then come down and rest. Yeah. Let your arms relax. Okay, there tends to be a little bit of sway back that happens in this posture. When people kick their feet to the wall, you get what we call like a banana back, right? Feet are on the wall. So what's great about Jamie's, and you can't see it from the profile, but there's no banana, right? You've got a nice lengthened torso, and that's what you're aiming for in this posture. You want to take the banana out of your body. Okay, so let's try one more. So either dolphin or you can kick. Maybe kick your other leg if you have. Is that what you're doing? Yeah? No. It's all right. Good. So this involves, to get rid of the banana, you got to tuck the ribs in and send the tailbone up toward your heels, which is what I've been saying for 45 minutes, just flipped in Tadasana, right? Good. Good, Susan. You're strong enough to go upside down. Yeah. I think you're just stopping yourself. Are you? Yeah, because I actually see you're strong enough, for sure. For sure. Okay, rest, child's pose. Okay. So while we're here, I'm going to have you guys take camel at the wall, okay, Ustrasana. So this is going to involve kneeling at the wall. Knees are hip width apart, and you want to be touching the wall, basically. Yeah, okay. So what I would recommend is tucking the toes under. If you feel like you're going to go back and grab your heels, tuck your toes. If you've been doing this pose for a while and you don't need to tuck your toes, fine. Okay? Bring the hands on the low back. Drop the tailbone, so we're recreating the actions. Tailbone down toward the back of the knees. Shoulder blades down toward your hips, chest lifts, low belly pulls in a little bit for support. Now start to lean up and away from the wall. And if you can, reach back and grab the heels. If you come away from the wall, which is fine, press back toward the wall once your hands are on your heels. Good, Diana. And just breathe. Now hands come to the low back. Untuck the feet, sit back on your heels. Rest your hands on your legs for a moment. Take a breath. So we're trying to create these same actions in our back extensions, or what people call back bends. But it's really tough on the low back to tuck that tailbone. It's hard, but it's important to try to keep the length as best you can. Let's try one more camel. So lifting up to the knees. Yeah, and you can tuck the toes if you want to try without, that's fine. Hands on the low back, and this will remind the tailbone to draw down. Chest lifts. Start to lean up and back away from the wall. Now your hips can come away. Grab your heels. If you don't want to grab your heels, by the way, you can just keep your hands on your low back. That's fine. And then press the hips back toward the wall. Breathe. Good. That's a lot. Okay, and then hands to the low back, come back up. And then you're going to untuck your feet and sit down. Palms down on your thighs. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Okay, now I'm going to have you guys turn around and lie down on your belly. So head toward the middle of the room, yeah. And just move far enough away from the wall that your feet aren't getting tangled up with the wall, okay? We're going to take, it's called Ekabhuja Swastikasana. The right arm is going to extend out to the side, like an airplane wing, yep. Left hand presses into the floor. And you're going to use that left hand to roll yourself over onto your right side, yes. You're going to try to keep the head down. And as you saw, all three of them bent that left knee, and that's fine. If that hurts your back, just keep your legs down. Okay, you could also add the left arm if you want, extend it up. If it's too much on the shoulder, just keep the hand on the floor. And you're trying to let that left arm fall back in line with the right arm. Now someday the hands will meet and you can grab fingers back there. Someday. Yeah, so the two knees bent is fine. That's really a lot of twist on the back, but the full posture is with both knees bent and the hands clasped behind you. Yeah, but you would have to release it back, right? So that you end up like this. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, right. It's okay. Good, Diana's got it. All right. All right. Bring the left hand down. Straighten the legs. Then roll back to your belly. Turn another cheek down. Relax. Okay. Left arm is the arm extending out like an airplane wing. Right hand presses into the floor. You're going to roll over to the left side. Be mindful because one shoulder doesn't feel the same as the other, right? And one side of your back may not be super excited about this. Yeah, so you could involve right arm if you want. You could try both knees. You could forget about both knees and just do one. Or you could lay both legs down fine. If you've got any bit of momentum going backward, it's kind of nice to have that foot on the floor though. Supports you. So we want to get to a point where you can get some deep breaths in. And then bring the right hand down, legs down, straighten the legs as you come back to your belly. Yeah. All right. And you're just going to rest on your belly there for a moment. All right, now you're going to press up to your hands and knees, and then come sitting with the legs in front of you. And I'm going to have you guys actually turn toward me. So you're going to take Upavista Konasana with the legs out wide. Yeah. Okay, so I see Tadasana here too, right? From here to here. Right? So shoulders over the hips. Pull the low belly up and in, the chest up. Shoulder blades down, sit bones down. Top of the head extending straight up. Legs super active and feet flexed, right? This is the same thing we do in Tadasana. Exactly the same. Now, if you've got any forward fold here without rounding and slouching, hinge forward. You don't have to go very far. Yeah, try to tuck the chin a little bit so it's the chest that's going first. Keep engaging as you inhale the length. As you exhale, drop another millimeter. As you inhale, length, top of the head away from the tailbone. Exhale, drop. Inhale, length. Exhale. Okay, and then coming all the way up. Good. Help the knees to bend, bring the soles of the feet together, and take the feet far in front of you so you have a big space here. It's a modified Baddha Konasana so that you can round your back, drop your head toward your feet, or to your feet. Well, that feels good on the back. You guys have been doing so much work to lengthen. The rounding is a nice contrast, yeah. And then you're going to roll up. Help the knees together. And then you're going to come lying down on your back. So you guys can swing your legs forward and your head back and hug your knees into your chest once you get down onto your back. Yeah. And again, the rounding feels pretty good. And the rolling from side to side would feel pretty good too. Yeah. Okay, let's take a twist. Both knees to the right, arms out to the sides. Okay. The twists are also nice for releasing tension that might have been building up in your back. All right, back muscles have been working hard, so breathe. You don't need to recreate these actions in the twist, right? But we do want some length in the torso. And then bring the knees back up to center and over to the left. Yeah, let everything go. Let everything relax. And then coming back to center. You can take happy baby if you like. Yep. A couple of breaths. And then bring the legs down, warrior shavasana. So now, with your legs extended and your arms down at your sides, you can feel the length you just created. Right? Feel all the space. Yeah, that's fine. All the space in your back. I want you to use whatever visual you can think of to imagine a healthy, strong, aligned spine. Right? You just spent an hour helping to make that happen. So focus on sending some good vibrations to the spine. You're going to begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. And start to feel some movement come back into the arms and legs. Deepen the breath. Begin to stretch a bit. Yeah, feel that length you created in your spine. And then you're going to bend your knees, roll to your right side. And you can lay curled up on your right side. Just enjoying that rest. And then use your arms and press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart center. And sitting up, right? Recreate those actions. This is called sitting up straight, right? Feeling the low belly pull in, the chest lifts, the shoulder blades drop, the sit bones root, the top of the head extends in the opposite direction of the tailbone. And then let your head bow down and acknowledge the divine light that illuminates each of us from the heart center. And thank yourself for focusing on your spine today. Give it some love. Spending an hour promoting length and strength and flexibility is really important, and it'll help support you in your other activities, right? Not only do you want your own joints and body parts and muscles to feel good, you want to be able to do other things, right? And the spine is pretty much the beginning and ending of all that. Let your head come up, open your eyes. Thank you very much. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. Good job. Thank you. Thank you.